They demonstrate insider knowledge and a motive to document misconduct. Take a moment to consider both interpretations. In federal cases, the same facts can support competing narratives. The decisive issue is whether the government can corroborate allegations with independent evidence and whether the jury finds the witnesses credible. The defense theory, the defense narrative will be straightforward. WAC 100 and aligned associates had a long-standing feud with Big U. That's WAC 100, that's Loose Cannon, that's Molly Mall, that's Dale, the long-tail rat. They collected stories, amplified allegations, and encouraged witnesses to speak. The result was a narrative designed to destroy Big U's reputation and influence law enforcement to act and arrest Big U. This would be known in law as a bias and motive to fabricate defense. So take a moment to consider both interpretations. In federal cases, the same facts can support competing narratives. The decisive issue is whether the government can corroborate allegations with independent evidence and whether the jury finds the witnesses credible. How the assistant United States attorney may use the same facts. They may argue the exact opposite. The government can say WAC 100 was close enough to understand how things operated. Multiple witnesses independently told similar stories. Wiretaps, recordings, and documents corroborated those statements. In that framework, WAC 100 becomes a source who helped investigators understand an already existing pattern.
Can I speak on that? That when you like the key words that you just said right there is that CS2 back is now like a source, just like a confidential source in the Dale Dog situation. Like just like a confidential source in that case that he had in Texas. Like, bro, you just became another confidential source. No matter how many times everybody try to defend and say speculation or we're trying to put too much on it or oh y'all exaggerating. Nah, another beneficial source. And it came out of his mouth once before that. If any law enforcement agency was to ever contact him, they would label
I'm a
him a
what
reliable
beast?
source.
He said if WAC 100 was gonna snitch on a nigga, you know what they gonna say? He's a reliable what beast? Source. A
Hey,
reliable
hey,
source.
well, hey, CS2 daddy, that's my dad. Hey, he's a reliable source. Yeah, whack, yeah. Nigga just glizzy gobbling his way into a straight bag. Like, and you didn't even get a bag, you just got a bag of nuts, goofball. Like, come on, bro. GG's in the chat. Like, bro, like these niggas was really like salivating over this man's sack, bro. Like,
Swallowing.
bro, like, what is going on? You niggas is grown ass men's out here, bro.
They said
But
trans informant.
Man, like I
trans
said,
informant is wild, bro.
they live to darken their knees.
Golly, man,
Throat
this is
goat hissing
wild, man. But
glizzy,
salute to the
man.
chat. Y'all know that's where it's at, man. If y'all like this content, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We got my man's Deuce M's, the Don, and my guy up in here, man. Say your name for this channel one more time for me, brother.
Southern Force, y'all know what it is. Oak Cliff, stand up.
Deuce.
Yes, sir. So I wanted y'all to consider both interpretations, Big U and his lawyer's position on the same exact evidence and the government's position on the same exact evidence of WAC 100. And the government's position would be that WAC 100 was a key source. You know what I'm saying? Let's go into this. In federal cases, the same facts can support competing narrative. The decisive issue is whether the government can corroborate allegations with independent evidence and whether the jury finds the witnesses credible. RICO and Hobbs Act. For the RICO, prosecutors must show an enterprise and a pattern of racketeering activity. And for the Hobbs Act extortion, prosecutors must prove obtaining property through wrongful use of fear or coercion. If the government's case depends heavily on witnesses' testimony, credibility becomes central. If jurors doubt the witnesses, reasonable doubt can emerge. If independent evidence supports the witnesses, the prosecution is strengthened. Take a moment to consider both interpretations in this. In federal cases, the same facts can
I
support
was the victim.
I talked the dog.
I was the victim. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. I just had to say that. Dummy. He was like, dummy, I was the victim. No, nigga. You sicked
Bozo.
him. You sicked
Bozo.
him. Bozo. Got you there.
So this, you got me shedding tears, bro. So the same facts can support competing narrative. The decisive issue is whether the government can corroborate allegations with independent evidence and whether the jury finds the witnesses credible. Reasonable doubt analysis. The strongest defense arguments would focus on personal rivalry. Whack 100, obviously, been attacking Big U. He even started an online campaign in a group called the Exposers to attack Big U. So Big U's lawyers arguing personal rivalry would really easily be proven by just open source intel that Whack 100 and the Exposers then display on social media and all of the biggest platforms. No Jumper, DJ Academics, Cam Capone News, everywhere except Street TV. Shout out Alex Alonso. 2, financial and media incentives. Witness coordination. Now let's talk about this for a minute, right? So on witness coordination, you got the boy Whack 100 saying that Dale Morrison told, well, the paperwork say Big U told Dale Morrison, hey man, stop fucking with CS2 back. That nigga's an FBI informant. Dale Morrison felt comfortable with Whack 100. So much so that he ran to him and said, hey, Whack, Big U said that you's an FBI informant and to stop fucking with you. But I owe him some money. And I'm working right now with the FBI. I told him that Big U is extorting. Imagine that. People being extorted run to the police. What would make him feel comfortable knowing that he was claiming to be a sheep who couldn't defend himself? And he's working with the police, but he felt comfortable telling him this, that he was working. In the wiretaps, Big U also contacts Marley Marl. Hey, Marley Marl, hey, look, bro, fuck that nigga Whack. I gotta at least break that nigga jaw. That nigga's an informant. Cut that nigga off. Marley Marl felt comfortable with Whack 100, that he ran back to Whack 100 and told him exactly what Big U said. So now, Whack 100 no longer has to question why Big U cut him off. He knows why Big U stopped answering his calls, wasn't calling to check on his wife and his kids no more. They were really, really tight as far as Big U told me how much he loved Whack 100 and Whack 100's family. And to cut that off, he took a position. But he's thinking that Whack 100 was oblivious to the reason why. He know he's thinking about it. He's seen the switch up. Whack 100 finds out. And you know what happens? Marley Marl calls Whack 100. Hey, the AUSA subpoenaed me and to testify against Big U. He gets updates directly from the confidential informant. Same way Dale gave him an update how he was working against Big U. Then you get to Loose Coochie Ashley, the IBM snitch boss. Whack 100 advice and suggestions that he didn't want to interview this nobody. He forced it upon him. And they interviewed Loose Cannon. Whack 100 orchestrated that. He set the stage in front of 5 million people to implicate Big U in various crimes, including the unaliving of Nipsey Hussle, the robbery that he's charged for right now. Loose Cannon corroborated evidence, coincidentally, about the same robbery Dale claims he was a victim to at the dispensary. And they got one thing in common. They point to Big U as the person who put it together and made mention of, that's how you rob yourself. Loose Cannon, even then, coordinated with CS2 back and Dale Morrison to get on a 3-way call. Because I guess that wasn't enough that he went on No Jumper and implicate him in Meek Mill and Rick Ross extortion. That's in the paperwork. The same thing Whack 100 and Big Loose Cannon talked about on No Jumper. Then Whack 100 sent them to DJ Academics. He went on a worldwide internet snitch tour to implicate Big U in all kind of crimes. But Whack also contributed with motive operandi. Oh, you know why he gave him back the 40 and he kept the 20? Because he was going to keep the 20 for himself and charge him the 20 for getting back the money from y'all. That's called motive operandi. This is snitching. Whether it's the truth or whether it was a lie. But it also coincides with exactly what the Assistant United States Attorney is charging Big U for today. Why he don't go to trial until next year because of those exact statements. But that wasn't enough. Still wasn't enough. Bang that like button. Whack 100 orchestrates a phone call on his line between the alleged robber, Loose Coochie Ashley, the fake Loose Cannon, Termaine Ashley, whatever his last name is, and Dale, the long-tail rat, who, if y'all don't know, breaking news, has been transferred and is now housed in MDCLA. He got a dope case in Ohio, or his own RICO. But they moved him to MDCLA where he awaits to testify and try to bury Big U for the rest of his life. How many other voices of Big U online have gave y'all that update? Told y'all that Dale Morrison is now in MDCLA And he's going to be there for months until Big U go to trial. So it wasn't enough that he's lined them up, corroborated evidence, had loose corroborated evidence. He gets them both on their phone. Alleged robber and alleged victim of a dispensary robbery. And what do they do on his phone? They point the finger at Big U again. These are the facts that each one of y'all can look forward to the defense being able to prove, which will, I believe, result in reasonable doubt. Because this is definitely witness coordination and everything ties back to CS2 back. And then the inconsistent public statements that they make, the lies. Meek Mills and Rick Ross already said they never been robbed. Never had they chain taken. Never been extorted. Shaquille O'Neal said the same thing. Draymond Green said the same thing. But they all ran with these fake narratives publicly. Big U's DNA was found under RW's DNA was found under Big U's DNA was found under RW's fingernails. The Crip Cop. CS2 back. These are the lies and inconsistent public statements that need to be addressed in front of that jury. Efforts to provoke and embarrass Big U. Y'all want to know what evidence we got for that? I got video. Let's get into it. After this, we're going to conclude, like Young and Hefe would say, we're going to conclude and go out. Hold on, I got to make sure I know the what you call it. All right. So it's 20 minutes. Boom. Bam. We there. If you didn't know, now you know. Shout out to the Union, the GOAT, Scandals, Los Angeles TV. Shout out to my brother, man. From another, man. Let's go.
When I owed your people, shut out too many was fair bidders. We made a deal, we negotiated, you shook hands, you left. You left me with the people. Whenever I sent you money to deliver orders, you always deliver.
Porky just said that Dale Morrison, who is victim number 1 in Big U's indictment, told him that he told the feds that Big U was extorting him. This is Porky letting you know that he's known about this the entire time. Porky is supposed to be an exposer, but never ever has he let us know that Dale was telling on Big U. Instead, he's been pushing Dale's narrative with him, saying Big U was working. I want you guys to let that sink in. Now you guys know why Adam 22 hired Porky at no jumper. Now, listen to what this slimy bastard has to say next.
But these niggas want to come over here playing with me, right? And then him and Luz got to talking about whatever they was talking about. And thinking about it is like, yeah, this is going to turn out tough. Because they was just on my phone in October. And Dale and Luz Cannon was wide open with their conversation. But these niggas want to come over here playing with me, right? And then him and Luz got to talking about whatever they was talking about and thinking about it.
You know what they was talking about.
Yeah, this is gonna turn out tough because they was just on my phone in October, and Dale and Luz Cannon was wide open with their conversation.
Please understand what just unfolded. Porky has just revealed that the informant in Big U's case came to him, admitting he was working with the feds and had told them that Big U was extorting him. Porky then set up 2 separate 3-way calls between the informant and Loose Cannon, both of which were intercepted by the feds. Porky knew Dale's phone was tapped because Dale had already told him he was working with the feds against
once, but 2 phone calls. Not once, but 2 phone calls. Whack 100 put Loose and Dale on the phone to make sure the government got everything just in case Loose Cannon go the other way. You know what I'm saying? Just in case he have a change of heart, which I doubt. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll tell on his mama if he knew he could get out. He's one of the most narcissistic motherfuckers I ever seen on the internet. He might even got CS2 backbeat with that narcissism. Real bitch made niggas. You know what I'm saying? What wasn't Wack talking Big U a snitch because he was calling people on a high phone? So he allowed an informant and another snitch on his line, hotter than a crackhead spoon. That's exactly what he did. That's crazy. He talked about Big U, and that was the Sue Surf shit. He tried to push the narrative that Sue Surf, Big U was lining up Sue Surf. But look, back to the content. We got another video. Scandalous, Los Angeles TV. Oh, man. This nigga gonna be famous after this trial. Let's go.
Big U. Porky himself went on record and admitted he came at Big U in 4 different phases. One of
this is
the key phases of this campaign. Porky openly stated that he wanted to go after Big U's contracts.
Wack said 100 times he was going to take my contracts. He working with the FBI. Wack said 100 times he was going to take my contracts. He working with the FBI. I keep telling niggas I work in phases. Let me see how smart you are, Brock. What was the last bullet I launched? I'm going to give you the last 3. I'm going to give you the last 3. All right, go ahead. I'm going to give you the last 4. I released the paperwork with the police.
I know where this is going.
Then I double back and released the signature line with him and Nipsey Hussle on the contract and told him, say another word, I'm going to let him see what the contract is you sent me. Right? Right?
I'm all ears.
Then the female SKG. Uh-oh, we're going at your character and them contracts you got over there, boy. Uh-oh, we're going at your character and them contracts you got over there, boy. Uh-oh, we're going at your character and them contracts you got over there, boy.
Let's be clear.
Undermine his credibility, disrupt his character. This is COINTELPRO in 2025. Admitting credibility becomes central. The AUSA already knew this. But they wanted to benefit from this as much as possible. But if there's doubt, the witnesses, reasonable doubt, the strongest prosecution arguments will focus on 1, corroborating wiretaps, financial records, independent victims, recorded admissions, consistent witness testimony, which there's not too much of. Their witnesses is all over the place. Take a moment to consider both interpretations in federal cases. Same facts can support competing narratives. The decisive issue is whether the government can corroborate allegations with independent evidence and whether the jury finds the witnesses credible. My conclusion is this. Wack 100's proximity to the investigation appears substantial. That does not prove that he was a formal confidential informant, but it strongly suggests he may have been an important source of information directly or indirectly. For the defense, that relationship can be used to argue bias, motive, and coordinated storytelling. For the prosecution, the same relationship may be presented as evidence that a former insider helped expose conduct. Exposers. That was corroborated through independent evidence. Ultimately, jurors will decide whether the witnesses are credible and whether the government has proven every element beyond a reasonable doubt. This is the $1,000,000 topic. This is the Damu and Kiwe conversation. Yeah. You want to say, I'll let y'all go last. Southern Force, you want to say something before we get up off here?
Yeah, first of all, you already know, salute to you. Happy belated birthday. You know, mine's is tomorrow. So them Taurus is running wild. You feel me?
You see them bullheads?
Oh,
You
yeah,
see
you
them
already know what it is.
bull horns?
Man, secondly, man, I've been in Portland for almost 5 years. I have never seen a security officer with a brown flat jacket, tactical. There's only two that have that. One is the FBI agents that be here at that federal building, and the ICE agents. So don't let that go over your head. And I've been here for almost 5 years. I've never seen a flat jacket, and I've been to multiple clubs, multiple. The third thing is, yeah, of course, he's a walking, talking enhancement. He trained himself on Clubhouse to strategize a plan to line up Big U. Because, like I told you before, ain't no way in hell he would have got out that Texas case unless it was something in the interest of justice. The only time you get that in the state of Texas, from my hometown, from my state, is FBI got you. They talking to you. And that case is taken away from them, and you with the alphabet boys. So yeah, you're a walking, talking enhancement, straight up and down. And it's amazing how he loved to spin stuff like a dreidel top. But no one's Jewish. Nasty work.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
No, yeah, I can hear you. I was just letting Southern Force salute to the brother, man, for his disposition, man, and everything. I just want to say this, dudes, man. Salute to you, brother, and salute to, Shortstop Podcast, Scandalous Los Angeles, and everybody who's still pushing, and myself. We all move a certain way, man, and as always, and forever will be free Big U until that man is home. Um, I want to just drop a quick scripture, as the biblical text in Torah would say, "Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy brethren." And the fact that you have individuals coming together to coerce a lie against thy brother, which was once a brother to them, and because of a person's morals and their morale and their moral compass, dealing with on which direction they wanted to deal with this individual, it's sad that they had to come together in confederacy and secretness to establish these lies against their brother. You know what I'm saying? CS2 back and everybody else that's okay with his type of characteristics, this type of behavior, allowing, the lie to oversee the truth, pushing that narrative, and the man's freedom is at the wings of this. You gotta be a piece of shit to be okay with that. And the fact you got people coming together to okay this lie, that just goes to show what type of direction the world is going into right now. Content over the truth. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like as men, we should have a better moral compass when dealing with individuals in these high places that claim that they're public figures and motive, like they're I don't even want to call that dude a role model. I'm sorry. It's even hard to even say the words off my mouth right now. Trying to call CS2 back a role model because it's sad you got grown ass man looking up to him. But nevertheless, the fact that Deuce M's, we got Southern Force on stage, Scandalous Los Angeles,
Shortstop Podcast and the whole plethora of individuals who's still standing on the truth, not about politics and not about um, standing on who's the realest and I'm standing on business. Yeah, this is the business that we need to stand on, you know. And the fact that this man had to derive uh, things to get us off the focal point, which is him being in this paperwork, being a reliable source, the information that was given to these agents that CS2 back gave on that case. It's very informative information, and he wants us to forget that he's on this case by even embarrassing himself and that footage coming out and talking about it, saying it was AI. Come on, man, we know that wasn't AI. You already got rumors and concrete evidence that you got you know, your rectum rub. You feel me? You a rectum rubber. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you do. But at the end of the day, we're not gonna stray away from the facts. And these are the facts. Deuce M's never brings nothing to the table if he's not able. Because you got Kane individuals trying to kill this man's character along with Big U because they want to see this man go down for whatever reasons. But we won't let that stand, man. We'll stand on what's right, and we'll stand on this side of the fence, and that's always defending truth, always bringing the facts, always listening to individuals who have the concrete evidence and the footage. Because guess what? In the words of CS2 back, I got the tape.
I got the tape. I lied to y'all. Yeah, when you talked about truth, it made me have to bring this up, right? So I listed all of those facts to Chat GPT, right? I said, Whack 100 screenshotted this is proof. The audio he published online, the FBI questioning him about J. Prince Jr. Whack 100 obviously stored the wrong number. It stored the number, but misspelled bureau. So I thought it was fake. But now in Big U paperwork, the FBI agents admit that Whack 100 was called and released the audio online. The Texas FBI contacted Whack 100 as a wellness check because Big U had just arrived in Texas from California to Jay Prince's home. Add this to the fact that witness one, Dale Morrison, claims he was being extorted by Big U, was told on wiretaps to stop dealing with Whack 100 that he was a confidential informant. And when Big U sees him, he has to at least break his jaw. Dale then ran to tell Whack 100 everything Big U said about him. Why would this informant feel comfortable telling this to Whack 100? Even telling Whack that he was working with the FBI and told him Big U was extorting him. Another witness is the Grammy Award-winning producer, Marley Marl, who was caught on wiretap also with Big U, and Big U warns him to stop dealing with Whack 100, that he was an FBI informant. Marley Marl ran back and told Whack 100 exactly what Big U said. Marley Marl is expected to testify on behalf of the prosecution. Whack 100 also, against Adam 22's desire, brought Loose Cannon, the alleged robber of Dale Morrison's dispensary, to the No Jumper podcast to corroborate what happened during the robbery, pointing fingers and blame at Big U. Whack is heard corroborating modus operandi of Big U based upon his past friendship with Big U, namely giving back the money to victims, except his price for collecting the victim's money back. Whack didn't think that was enough because he used his industry ties to send Loose Cannon to DJ Academic's platform to implicate Big U in other crimes. So then he put Loose and Dale together twice on a three-way call to talk about the dispensary robbery and to blame Big U. Chat GPT, what do you make of Whack 100's participation in this investigation when he and Big U were friends that turned rivals? based solely on the facts that you outlined and the allegations. Let me show y'all this because I don't want y'all to think I made this up. This is me asking ChatGPT based on the fact, because people say I'm biased. People say I'm a hater. People say I'm clout chasing. People say I'm crazy. They need more evidence. Based solely on the facts you've outlined and the allegations described in publicly filed court documents, WAC 100's conduct appears consistent with someone who became a highly significant source of based solely on the public filed court documents that they could access and the facts that I outlined in the Big U case, an investigation. WAC 100's conduct appears consistent with someone who became a highly significant source of information in the government's investigation of Eugene Henley Jr. Now, that does not prove he was a formal confidential informant on this case, but it strongly suggests he may have been acting as a cooperating witness, source, or voluntary tipster. Key indicators that raise questions. 1, direct contact with the FBI. If federal agents contacted WAC 100 and he later released audio of that interaction, it confirms that the FBI considered WAC 100 relevant to the investigation. It confirms that agents were willing to communicate directly with him. And it confirms he had information the government believed was useful. Being contacted by the FBI alone does not make someone an informant, but it establishes a documented relationship. 2, multiple witnesses warning Big U about WAC 100. According to my summary, Dale Morrison allegedly told WAC 100 that he was cooperating with the FBI, and he relayed Big U statements that WAC 100 was a rat. Molly Mall allegedly informed WAC 100 that Big U believed he was an informant. This pattern suggests several people treated WAC 100 as a central figure in the conflict and potentially someone who was in contact with law enforcement. I'm going to ask y'all a couple names in law enforcement that WAC 100 might be in contact with. Reggie Wright Jr. Give me ones in the chat if you believe Reggie Wright Jr. Darren Dupree and Greg Caden. Put ones in the chat if you believe WAC 100 has both of them on speed dial. I'm going to wait. That's what's up. So, the third thing that brings questions about WAC 100's behavior is that I described WAC 100 bringing loose cannon onto podcasts, facilitating discussions among loose cannon, Dale Morrison on the three-way, using media platforms such as No Jumper and DJ Academics to air allegations. This could be interpreted as just content creation and public commentary, or deliberately preserving and broadcasting statements that support a broader narrative against Big U. 4, corroborating alleged methods. If WAC 100 described Big U's alleged practices in a way that matches witnesses' testimony, prosecutors may view that as corroborative evidence from someone with insider knowledge. Now, the possible explanations that WAC 100 could come up with for this behavior under scenario 1, formal confidential informant. Under this scenario, WAC 100 had an established relationship with federal authorities and provided information regularly. Scenario 2, a cooperating witness. He voluntarily supplied information without being formally registered as a CI. Scenario 3, strategic rival providing information. A former friend turned rival may have shared damaging information due to personal and business conflict. Scenario 4, public commentator only. He may simply have discussed allegations publicly without any formal cooperation, though the FBI contact and surrounding circumstances make this a more limited explanation. Why prosecutors might value his role. WAC 100 appears to have long-term knowledge of Big U's relationships and operations. WAC 100 appears to have direct communication with multiple witnesses. WAC 100 appears to have access to influential media channels. WAC 100 appears to have the ability to obtain statements that could be compared with other evidence, even if he never testified. Investigators can use leads and corroboration stemming from the information that he provided. Credibility consideration, and we don't need to go on that. But that's basically what ChatGPT told me about what WAC 100 did. So, CS2 back. Stop telling people we lying on them. Stop telling people we clout chasing. Stop telling people we got to use your name. Now, Deuce Sims didn't just say all of this about you. Yael didn't just say all of this about you. Neither did Southern Forest. ChatGPT, who don't know you over a bowl of top ramen soup, took the information and based on the data and common sense of how informants move, this is what it found out about you. Again, this is the Damu Keyway Conversations. We out.